Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, June 11th of 2023. It is another beautiful day here in Utah, and once again I am off right after this video to have a hike with my son, Brian. We have been having some lovely mother-son bonding on these trails. He takes his dog Loki, and it is just so amazing to get out in Mother Nature and experience the mountains again. I missed a lot of hiking last summer. So we are back full steam. Now I have a really great message for you today about what I feel has been happening for a long time, especially the last little bit more than 3 years now, in what feels like a great awakening. And I've talked about this before. There's actually a documentary I watched a week ago yesterday that is called The Great Awakening. Many of you might have seen this, and I'm going to put a link below this video for anyone who's interested, who wants to check it out. It's a documentary that's totally free. All you have to do is put in your email address, and it is a lot of these things I already knew, but it's a beautiful movie, and it kind of spurred some of the thoughts that I'm going to bring to you today as far as the Great Awakening. And let me just start with some of these notes that I wrote down here in the beginning. We are holistic spiritual beings. We give away our power every time we go against our gut, our instincts, our intuition, or our higher self, which is all the same thing in my opinion. You know, we continually give away our power and our creativity and our purpose, and we sink into these lower energies, and we give our power to other people, and we don't trust our gut. So I believe that we are here for a reason, a purpose, and I believe we're here to create. We're here to create a better life for ourselves. We're here to create abundance for ourselves, our families, for humanity. You know, one thing that happened this past week on Friday is I went on this, there's a little local, kind of a news show, I guess. It's called Good Things Utah, and I was invited to come on and just be on this little local show for like 5 minutes. And I always, when I filled out the bio, I put, that I am the CVO of Barlow Herbal. And the host, when they were asking me questions, asked me what that meant. And I said, well, that means Chief Visionary Officer. And when they asked me to maybe explain, what I mean by that, because that is typically it's CEO if someone's the Chief Executive Officer. To me, titles have their place. They're all great and all of that. But to me, there's a vision I have for not just what we do here at Barlow Herbal, but what we all do and we all want to do as a vision for humanity. And I believe that what I'm doing with the things that we make and the people that find us and where we're able to help their health, that this is a responsibility. This is something that I take very seriously, and to me, I want to be the person who has the vision, not just to carry on my dad's work, but to provide something that is not just legacy, but something that makes a difference for human beings. Because at the end of the day, we're all mortal. We're all gonna, we're all the same. By the time we have our last breath, we're all the same. In fact, I have a very beautiful, dear friend who is in hospice care. She's had cancer come and go. She's younger than me, and I love her husband and her dearly, dearly, dearly. And as I watch this happen, and I watch her in her last days, her husband writes these beautiful poems and musings, and he says that he watches her become this deep, big soul, this beautiful human being, that I think we all come to this realization, hopefully we have the luxury of getting to be very old, and no one wants to suffer. but it's like, I think that we don't realize how every single day is such a gift. And if we have our health and we have the ability to move around and make a difference and be creative, every moment, every day that we don't do that, we are missing out on our soul's purpose. And I think it's just such a beautiful reminder, right? So we are here to witness the rise in consciousness of humanity and society. We're here to elevate and evolve. We're here to elevate ourselves and others. We're here to evolve as these beautiful souls. You know, I do think that this is a great awakening. And I also think that when we transition each individually, no matter what it looks like, whatever you believe, we're going to also, again, have another awakening. In fact, there's a podcast that I've really been enjoying lately, and I typically will listen to podcasts when I'm doing a workout or I'm painting, and it's just one of those really nice ways to get information, especially if it's uplifting things, right? So there's a podcast called the Next Level Soul podcast, and he does a lot of interviews with people who've had near-death experiences. And there was one woman that actually had two near-death experiences. They were kind of back to back, and they were when she was a very young child. And it was one of the most beautiful accountings of this woman and her experience. And I'll also put a link below this video to that as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful interview. So I think that when we can realize that if we can elevate ourselves and evolve and also elevate others and help others evolve, it all becomes just beautiful. So here are the different ways I feel like we give away our power. And this, you know, I sat and wrote all this stuff down the other night as I was just kind of watching the sunset with my husband. I always have this little book with me, because when you sit in stillness and in quiet, and even when there's some conversations, a lot of times, if you notice, when you're enjoying the beauty of Mother Nature, especially in a relaxation place, maybe at the end of a busy day, or at the end of a busy week or whatever, sometimes even if you're sitting with someone, you can kind of go into those really comfortable, quiet times. So this is one of those things that, you know, I picked up my notebook and I started writing, and my husband at this point, it doesn't even faze him, or, you know, it never has annoyed him, but it's a very normal, natural thing for me to do. And every once in a while he'll say, "Oh, what just came to you just then?" And so I'll tell him, and it'll start this lovely conversation, and it's actually been a really beautiful way for us to connect. So one of the things I wrote when I realized that we do give away our power, and these are some of the things that we do that gives away our power. We watch too much TV, we scroll mindlessly on social media, we drink too much alcohol, we eat too much food, we stay indoors too much, not enough connection with Mother Nature, and we also sometimes are simply missing the human connection. I think it gets really easy to disconnect ourselves and be a bit of a loner, and I'm not talking about disconnecting for quiet time, personal time, individual time, where you just need that place where you can like quiet your mind and really be by yourself, because I do think that alone time is good. But I'm talking about times when you're by yourself, and then you continue to be by yourself. You're maybe sucked into your media, into a video game, into TV, into mindless series on Netflix, or all the options that are open for us. You know, I think that this is a time that's more important than ever, because there's so much distraction. You know, you can hear so many people say, "Oh, this series is great, this series is good," and I've been guilty of writing lists down or making a note on my phone, like, "Oh, this couple we went out to dinner with, we're going on and on and on about this wonderful series," and you start to realize that you could spend your whole life watching things, and things that why would you want to watch what other people are creating? And I'm not saying every once in a while a good movie or even a good series is not okay. It is. I think that's okay. But I think that there is a limit because the distraction is such a powerful pull of what is really going on. And I believe that we should stay abreast of everything that's happening. I think that we're at a really critical, beautiful time. In fact, I had a really nice conversation with a woman who took my exercise class for 20 years, and we connected this week. I believe it was on Thursday. We just had a phone call. We talked for about half an hour, and she has been on the same page as I have during this whole last 3 years, and we really we were talking about how beautiful it was to find your tribe and how there is a great awakening. And then she started talking about how scary it was and how much fear she had in what if we all don't wake up in time, and what if we let this dystopian future happen. And I said, well, here's a way to look at it. Look at it as we live in interesting times. And I think that we need to start reframing the way that we say things and the way that we think about things, because we can say that we're in fear of this, and someone could be in fear of something on the other opposite spectrum, but the energy of fear is still fear. And I think we need to start looking through not rose-colored lens that keep us, in a place of ignorance, but in a place of positivity. I really do believe that that's important. So I wrote down a list of things that we can easily do to take our power back. So if you find yourself caught in any of these things, like, okay, I definitely know I need to, quit mindlessly scrolling social media. That one I know can be hard, but it can also be easy if you just say, I'm not going to do it. I deleted the Facebook app off of my phone probably 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I decided I was done with Facebook, and I deleted it off my phone. And I'm saying, if you use Facebook for connecting with your family, keeping track of birthdays, watching the people, belonging to different groups, and it's a good social structure, maybe keep it on your desktop. Maybe keep it on a computer that's not always accessible, where you're getting notifications and you're always getting binged and you're trying to always get that hit of dopamine. Remove some of these things that are an easy hit, an easy fix, right? So here are the things that I wrote down that we can consider when taking our power back. Number one is to say no when no is needed. Be brave and say no. Say no if it doesn't work out. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to, doesn't have to, if someone gets their feelings hurt because you said no to something, it's really their problem and their issue. So say no when no is needed. That one can be a real game changer. Number two is stop playing the save us or save me game. Someone's going to save me. Someone's going to save us. This political figure is going to save us. This saying no one's coming to save us, that needs to be taken off of the table completely. We are the answer. We can find what we need inside of here. We get to decide. We get to save ourselves. We get to save ourselves. And I'm not saying to take the spiritual component, the Christ consciousness, I'm not saying to take that out of the equation. I'm saying, are you waiting around for other outside things to happen to save you? Are you being proactive? Are you stepping into and doing the things that you need to do to stay aware and prepared? So that's what I'm talking about. Number three is to protect your energy from toxic people or situations. This one is really, really important. It gets easier the more you do it. Just do it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to. Just remove yourself physically. Start saying no to the situations that you might say yes to. And be kind about it. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It's a lot easier to disconnect from toxic people than you think. And it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. Not just people, but situations. Number four, let go of blame and stop being a victim. That one is boy, once you do this one, life changes so beautifully. It can change so dramatically. And we are definitely in the midst of a bit of victim culture, victim mentality. And I just think that one person at a time needs to step out of that and just show, if there are people in your life that are in that, show them what it looks like to not be a victim, but to be a creator. We are not a victim. We are a creator of our reality. Okay, so number 5 is to trust yourself. Trust your gut, your intuition, your instinct. I love that. Number 6, have the courage to walk alone. This has never been more true these past few years. This is something where if you have a belief in something, and this is not about screeching at others or being mad at others, to believe how you believe. This is about standing your ground, stand in your truth, and be willing to walk alone. Be willing to be that outsider, that outlier. This is a real gift that I got from both of my parents. And I would say in this case, especially my dad. My dad didn't care that he thought things that were outside the box, especially like in the medical realm and in the herbal medicine realm. He knew what he knew. He was confident in it. He had no problem walking alone. And at the end of his life, he was not alone. And he was not alone most of his life. But he did things outside the box. He did things outside the normal. And he set a beautiful example for us on the ability to say, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to go over here. And I'd rather be over here as an outlier than with what the crowds are doing. So have the courage to walk alone, because sometimes it can take courage, because no one wants to be by themselves, right? We don't want someone to be thinking that we're crazy. But I will tell you, when you are willing to step outside of the norm and outside of the box of what everyone else is doing, the air is cleaner, the sun is brighter, there's a lot more space outside of the crowds. So that one's awesome. And then the last one I wrote here was reclaim your power. Do the things you love to do. See yourself as the beautiful, strong, bold, and courageous being that you were created to be. To me, that's really where it is, right? So I believe there's a great awakening, and we are finding our tribe. We are unleashing our creativity like never before. We are realizing many truths. We are realizing that good people need to step up. It's time to step out of the victim mentality. It's time to put our differences aside for all things. We have to come together and handle the crises together. So I am going to leave it right there. I think it continues to be such a spectacular, incredible thing as all these truths come out. I think it's so exciting. I also think that it's a really good idea, as more things might get thrown at us as humanity, to really disconnect even from the media that you feel like tells you the truth. And I think that it's good to know the truth, but I think it's good to not get caught, because there's more stuff coming. There is more stuff coming. And I think we know that. But if we stand in our truth, we're willing to be brave and courageous, it not only works out in the end, but it's more brilliant. And it's not about waiting to the end, because it is about the journey. It's about the journey we take along the way, because none of us knows when it's our time to go. None of us knows. And I think that the more we live in the now, in the brilliance of who we are, and just set a pure, beautiful example. You're not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay too, right? So I hope you have a beautiful Sunday, or a beautiful day, whatever day you're watching this. Subscribe if you're not. Head on over to Rumble. I might get brave and start only posting on Rumble and maybe saying things that are maybe off or a little wild or might be censored, but that's not really my personality anyway. So Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.